Corrosion control. There are different methods to control corrosion. One is protective coating, and by the addition of some chemicals that is called as by the addition of corrosion inhibitors, then cathodic protection, anodic protection, or by giving proper design or while selecting the materials itself, we can control the corrosion. Under protective coatings, there are many types. We can give metal coating, inorganic coating, or organic coating, etc. Under inorganic coating, there are two types. One is uh, phosphating, and another one is anodization. What is inorganic coating? Inorganic coatings are generally chemical conversion coating. Metal surface is converted into some uh, products or some compounds, or for example in the case of aluminium it is converted into aluminium oxide. So metal surface itself will be converted into some other compound. So that's why this protective layer, it's an integral part of that metal itself. Integral part of that metal itself. We are not giving any separate coating over the uh, article surface. So these coatings, in addition to control corrosion, have the following added advantages. They provide electrical insulating property to the metal surface. They enhance the adherence of paint and enamel to the surface. So first type under inorganic coating, that is anodized coating or anodizing. For example, anodization of aluminium. What are the applications of this anodization? Anodization is used for aluminium pressure cookers and cooking pots. Aluminium window frames are anodized. That gives decorative look also. Anodized aluminium is used in office partitions, tiffin carriers, soap boxes, etc. So, what is anodization of aluminium? Uh, in the case of anodization, uh, it's a method of developing oxide layer, as I told earlier, on the metal surface by anodic oxidation process. Here aluminium will be taken as anode and separate cathode will be taken. Usually lead will be taken as cathode. Lead will be taken as cathode, and this anodization will be done only to non-ferrous metals like aluminium, zinc, magnesium, etc. So here aluminium will be taken as anode and lead will be taken as cathode, and the electrolyte is mixture of chromic acid and sulfuric acid. So electrolysis will be done at temperature 30 degrees Celsius. So what happens during electrolysis? At the anode, oxidation takes place. So aluminium oxide will be formed over the aluminium surface. So this aluminium oxide is called as alumina, or it contains some pores. So this if any material surface, if it contains some pores, that increases rate of corrosion. So we have to reduce the pores, or this porous alumina will be converted into non-porous alumina by treating it with the boiling water or steam or even metal salt solutions. So when we treat it with the boiling water or steam or metal salt solution, this porous alumina will be converted into non-porous alumina, or it's nothing but monohydrate alumina, which occupies more volume and hence covers up the pores. And applications already we have discussed. Then next is metal coating. Under metal coating, there are two types. One is anodic coating and cathodic coating. For anodic coating, best example here, galvanization. We'll see one by one. Metals are coated over the surface of the base metal by electrodeposition or flame spraying or cladding or hot dipping process. So here deposition of a protective metal over the surface of a base metal is called metallic coating. You are coating one separate metal over the article surface, that is nothing but metal coating. So there are two types, one is anodic coating and another one is cathodic coating. In anodic coating, the metal coated on the base metal acts as anode. The coating layer will act as anode and your article will act as cathode. So iron is coated with the anodic and active metals like zinc, magnesium and aluminium. Okay, because here iron acts as cathode, zinc coating or magnesium coating or aluminum coating will act as anode. So we'll see best example for this anodic coating, that is galvanization. It is a process of coating a base metal surface with the zinc metal. So galvanization is carried out by hot dipping process. So here for this we have to clean the article surface first. For galvanization we have to clean the article surface. We have to clean the article surface. It should be washed with the organic solvents to remove some organic matters, or rust and other deposits always will be cleaned with the dilute sulfuric acid, and then we have to wash it with water and dry it properly. After that we have to see, after washing it with dilute sulfuric acid, then you have to wash it with water, then dry it by passing through this drying chamber using hot air. Then the article then dipped in molten zinc maintained at 425 to 430 degrees Celsius, and this uh, bath is covered by a flux of ammonium chloride. Here ammonium chloride, it prevents the oxidation of molten zinc. Oxidation of molten zinc. Then we have to pass through this mm, iron sheet through a pair of hot rollers to remove excess zinc, so that you will get uniform layer of zinc coating over the article surface. So this is nothing but galvanization process. So these are the steps to be involved in galvanization process, very important. With the diagram you have to explain. So these are the examples for galvanized articles. But galvanized articles are not used for preparing and storing foodstuff, because zinc dissolves in dilute acids and it produces some toxic zinc compounds. So we cannot store pickles or any other foodstuff in using galvanized articles. So this is an example for metal coating, galvanization. Next is cathodic protection. What is cathodic protection? Cathodic protection is the method of protecting a metal or alloy from corrosion by converting it completely into cathodic, and no part of it is allowed to act as anode. This base metal is completely converted into cathode. Why? Because corrosion always it takes place at anode. Now, which acts as anode? One separate metal, you have to fix it to the cathodic surface or base metal that will undergo corrosion. So there are two methods of cathodic protection. One is sacrificial anode method and another one is impressed voltage method or impressed current method. What is sacrificial anode method? Here base metal is completely converted into cathode uh, by connecting it into one separate anode, pseudo anode. Usually a magnesium block connected to a buried oil storage tank. Here oil storage tank is made up of iron, and magnesium bar will act as anode and iron tank will act as cathode. So anode will undergo corrosion always. Magnesium bars are fixed to the sides of the ocean-going ships to act as sacrificial anodes, and even magnesium blocks are connected to buried pipelines. So only anode will that pseudo anode will undergo corrosion, cathode is unaffected. So that's why it is called a sacrificial anode method. Anode is sacrificing, it will undergo corrosion. Then the disadvantage of this sacrificial anode method is the removal of exhausted anode. If little part is remain, then that enhances the rate of corrosion. Otherwise, this method is very simple, easy to install, no power is required, low cost. So these are the advantages of this sacrificial anode method. Second one is impressed current method. Here we have to connect that base metal. It will act as anode, cathode, and separate inert anode. Usually lead will be taken as anode, or even graphite can be taken as anode. So that will be connected to external energy source. So cathode is connected to cathode of external energy source. Anode is connected to anode of external energy source. So, and by supplying current greater than corrosion current, so that's why it is called as impressed current method. Cathode is unaffected, only inert anode will undergo corrosion. The advantages of this method: one, installation can protect very large surface area and low installation cost. Now, what are the applications? Where do we apply this impressed current method? In buried oil pipelines, marine structures such as offshore oil rigs, buried water storage tanks. These are the examples or applications of impressed current method. So this about corrosion control. Corrosion can be controlled by inorganic coating, by metal coating, and by cathodic protection. Under inorganic coating, we have seen anodization. Under metal coating, galvanization. Under cathodic protection, we have seen impressed current method and sacrificial anode method.